when you finally find the one with the range. That's really the only thing you can do when you get a gap up day like that. So now that we're gapping down today, what will essentially happen is, will be the areas we got to watch for is, right, the lows from the 20th, where we tested it really twice, and then we'll watch yesterday's range, right? At the top of yesterday's range, if we come in and kind of push over that, then we may come in here and fill the gap. This is like these are the harder parts of trading when, uptrends are easy because you have no resistance, right? There's no levels to watch. And even downtrends can be, really easy because in downtrends, like when you're flushing down, you really ignore support areas. Like if the market wants to sell off because there's news, it doesn't really care if the 20 SMA is sitting around there, right? It's just going to knife through. But like a range is a lot different because when you're in a range, it's all about levels and inflection points and whether you can get over or under. Oscillators come more into effect. So it's just a little bit different type of trading, but a little bit trickier. So just be mindful, like you may hunt around for some plays on days like this, looking for like kind of the bigger one because you'll just have a little bit of a choppier day. Let's talk about the watch list real quick here. SC's gapping up here on some earnings. This one's actually breaking out to all-time high, so it looks pretty good here. If you look at it, it's a recent issue. I wouldn't call it a new IPO, but it definitely is a recent issue. Opened up in 2017. It's got pretty good range on it in 2019. I mean, it's basically gone from $10 to $30. So it has, that nice ability to cook. I think that this one's got a chance on it. Qualcomm is probably, my top watch for today. It's got news out. U.S. judge rules Qualcomm violated antitrust law and validation for FTC, blah, 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 blah. We don't really know what that means, but it can't be good, right? Can't be good. So this is top watch on this. Like if you had this big gap after the deal with Apple, this big move after the deal with Apple, so like if it starts to even kind of collapse and start to get back into some of that area, then we're going to have ourselves, some nice plays on this. The one issue with a stock like this is going to be that, first of all, there's, a high float on it, so it's going to be Algo City today. But hopefully they'll turn on the algos at the right spots, right, and help us out a little bit. Hey, Kyle. Hey, Danny. What's going on? Robbie, how you doing? Pat, how you doing? Pat the cat. Shh. What's got into that cat? Shh. All right, so we'll keep that on the watch. Lowe's is decent here. The issue with Lowe's is going to be you can only short this thing if it stays under the 200 SMA. So you got to leave yourself like a little line on your chart or something so if you start to short this thing, like say it pops, you start to short this piggy around 104, 105, you're not going to get the follow through you need. So what you got to do, right, is you got to only hit this thing at the sweet spot, at the inflection point to get it going. That's when we'll have ourselves a nice day. The issue on this also is what? It's a thicker stock, it's a thicker stock, so you got to be you got to be a little bit careful of what's going down, but otherwise, everything is good. I think that this thing, if it breaks under 100, there should be a psychological level too. Amberilla, blast from the past. This one's breaking under the 200 SMA. The liquidity so far is a little bit low on it, but SSR is going to be on it, so we may have to hit this thing in a little bit of an uptick before it goes. But when it goes, it's going to go. So just kind of be, that's where we're, this should be a decent one on this. So let's be watching this one. I think that we got a chance here. Boom, 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 boom. Dun, 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 dun. Let's see here. And then we got Target. Target's got some caveats though. Like it's gonna have to hang out over this 200 to get kind of into this 80 zone. It very rarely, I've drawn a line here. It very well could just, roll back over. So we'll have to be careful on this one. PSTG looks decent. You got bad earnings on this one too. And if you ORB under this level, I think you'll have a chance to, get this party going. These other two are kind of junk, so I wouldn't worry about those. Roku, hopefully it holds. Man, we were hoping for the red to green on this. So this was really the hot play of yesterday. It had all the range on it. Actually moved really clean, right? Pullbacks were getting bought. If this thing takes out this range, even if it does it right now, then that's a red to green that's going to be, that's a red to green that could be powerful. So let's keep an eye on this one. I think this is going to be our top play for today, potentially. The rest of this all junk. So let's go and do what we got to do. What are you guys watching? Oh, yeah. You know what? Workhorse could work. I saw that on the list. You got a PR out here. Now, it's at a crash pullback. So when you get a crash pullback, so see, hey, Isaiah, how are you? Welcome. 87 cents at 345, right? So it had like a really, really big move. But when you get like this kind of crash pullback, then a lot of times the bounces end up being like dead cat bounces. What a dead cat bounce means is that, right, they're just like a relief bounce. You know, you're not going to get the odds, like when you come back and like give up almost the whole gain, right? If you go from 75 cents to 325 and you give up the whole gain, then all these subsequent bounces end up getting faded off, right? Because it ends up just being a sucker's bounce. You know, you had that like crash pullback, and so now every single bounce, it just ends up being a lower high. You would really need kind of like a powerful PR or something to really get it out of that, because now it's just a liquidity event, right? It's just a liquidity event for bag holders to get the heck out of the stock, and then, you know, once that kind of supply clears up, then you can really start to get going. Chris, what's up, baby? You know what, Danny? I got Tesla on watch for potential short too. Watch this level over here, kind of this 195. Like, it's in a downtrend at this point, right? So there's no getting around that. You have the lows from the 20th, and you should be approaching it right here. So remember that the more times you test the level, the more powerful the breakdown will be, right? So you usually need 3 tests, right? 3 tests of a support to break it down. So you got 1 test, 2 tests. This would be the 3rd test potentially. So if you bust under there, then that can start like your next, your next flush, right? So I really like the look of that. And obviously this thing's just acting like, you know, Turdzilla. It's just lower highs city, lower lows, lower highs for the time being. So definitely keep that on the list. Be safe today. We don't know, like, you know, the market may stay in range, but if you break below the lows from the 20th, you know, that can set off a lot more. Man, that could set off a lot more selling. That would take us down to the 200 SMA. And so, longs would definitely be feeling the pain on that. So you got to really keep on your levels. You know, when you're uptrending, levels don't really matter because there are none. There's no resistance overhead. When you're stuck in range, every single thing matters. So just be careful today. We're going to have ourselves some fun regardless, but dude, you know how it goes, right? Range trading is tough. So trade fast, trade quick, and don't be afraid to take small losses, you know, to get out and about. I'll be in the Bulls on Wall Street chat room today trading. So if you guys need me, you know where I'm trading. I'm live every day, all day. Well, all day till I'm done, right? And I'll be on screen share and audio and all that fun stuff. So if you guys need me, I'll be in the chat room, in the boom boom room. So let's go do what we got to do. All right? Guys, good luck today. Let's be good. Let's be great. And, you know, it's hump day, right? What bad could happen today? All right? Hey, Paul, how you doing, brother? Mr. Goldberg, how's your trading been? Actually, we got to catch up. Man, Roku didn't wait for us. What a little sucker. Yeah, sometimes these things will just go, you know, red to green even in the pre-market. And you can hit them in the pre-market if it starts to roll like that. They don't always like to wait for you. Hey, Bruce, what up, baby? All right, let's cruise, man. Let's go